Hey, good morning, guys. We've got a group here that's, there's some kid goats we weaned, and they're in here, and then there's some ewe lambs. Well, actually, they're ewes now. They were ewe lambs last year that's got their babies. That we're gonna wean them and take the ewes to another spot. And we got some good feed growed up here that will put the lambs and the kids on. The ewes don't really need it at this point. They got a couple months to put weight on before breeding season, and they'll do that pretty quickly as we wean the lambs. And there's several of them in here that need worm. Probably not too many of the ewe lambs, but there's some kid goats for sure that do. But just make sure you're not worming everybody. You know, like we'll go through here and we'll only worm the ones that need it. If you just go through here and would mass worm everybody, it's just a good way to run make resistant worms for your wormer. And of course we use the combination wormer that we've talked about and we taught at the school. 3 different wormers, 3 different worm guns, and each animal that we worm will get each of the 3. And you can find out more about that on wormx.com and just look up combination wormers. Tell you kind of why we do that. Well, we'll be getting started. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. People think sheep are dumb, but I tell you, once they've been through this system, and then they just know it. Now, the first time putting them through, yeah, you think they're pretty dumb because they just, especially a bunch of lambs over a bunch of goats, kids will run through it pretty good. But then the second time, yeah, they're just waiting to go through. They know where the hole is. Hey guys, yeah, we're getting ready to, let's just get some fence up here and get ready to turn some, those kids out on, not this field, but the next field over. It's got the same stuff planted, I guess you might say, but I was going to show you, there's a couple of terraces here that we unroll a lot of hay up here because it's colder in the winter. This is where we're growing those kids at in the winter, and we've got those feeders up in here, and so we kind of keep them up close to the loafing shed here, that so they can, you know, get in and out of there if the weather's bad and such. And it goes well, it'll be about a quarter of a mile to where you see the brush out there. But up here where we fed this hay, I just want to show you, it's just must have more organic matter in it. Look how tall these radishes and turnips are. They're really about choked out. A lot of the oats, there's some oats in here, but man, it's just, we'll go down there where we don't feed them as much. We feed them some down there, but they really spend the bulk of their time up here on this half of this pasture. But yeah, I don't know if it's kind of hard to tell, but maybe you can see this O'Brien post. I had one there with me, and I stuck it in there, and we'll go down and I'll show you where we didn't have as much hay unrolled there. And just to show you what, you know, organic matter and well, you know, quite honestly, the poop and the pee and all that stuff, how it benefits the soil is so dramatic right here. It's just a good example, and I wanted to just show it to you because I don't know, it really, it makes me kind of take a second look at where we're feeding our hay and what we need to do, maybe spreading it out more. So look at that. Hey, I'll show you this here. This is, well, last couple of years we set up a row of bales along the top of this terrace for a windbreak. And then of course they get eaten as the winter goes by, but I guess you might say that's a form of bale grazing, dual purpose there. So it kind of, they get behind it, breaks the wind from the north. But look, now it's even taller here. So see, and there, it's up to well, there's 3 notches on that post. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, 3 notches on that O'Brien post there when you get up there all along top of this terrace. Okay, so now this is down towards, well, it'll be the north end of this field, what I was showing you there. See, we just didn't get a good stand, and look at those little radishes, turnips. And there's some oats there, pretty weak, but you can see there. What a difference! What a difference! But we just don't feed enough hay down this part. We tried to put the feeders. We spaced them around here last year and moved them, but then it would get muddy and we couldn't get in here to move them and things. But let me show you this. This is a place we did unroll some hay down here. Look at that. You can see right to where the hay was unrolled there. See that bale? It goes up over that terrace. Isn't that something? Makes you take notice, don't it? Just more organic matter there. Now when we farmed this field, oh, it's been 6-7 years ago probably, but this end down here was the better dirt, would grow the better crops. And honestly, that up there, it wasn't very good. But now look at it, just from what the livestock and feeding the livestock on it has done. Yep, right there in. I rolled that bale, and then right over there by the 4-wheeler, we must have just ran out of hay. You can still see some of that on the ground here. All right, well, we just turned these guys out on this other field that has turnips and oats and radishes, but then it has some of this regrowth of the sorghum sedan mixture that we had. And you remember maybe when we had them out and we grazed this field out here, well, of course then it grew back, and we just drilled over the top of it, that fall mix. And we wanted something that would take the place of having to buy expensive feed. Of course, feed's cheaper now this year than it was last. And if we haven't got any fall rain, or this stuff would be twice as tall at least out in here. So sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. Might have been worth it to pay for a feed mixture. It's around $300 instead of $400 what it was last year. Might even be cheaper than $300. I don't know if you can hear that, but you can just hear them munching on that stuff. Well, another day's work done. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have the combine fixed and back harvesting soybeans. Get that project finished up at this little break here when we were broke down. Kind of let us get caught up on some some of this livestock work we needed to do. Isn't that your favorite part, when you turn them into some new feed? New pasture, new paddock, new farm, whatever it is. Just love to see them enjoying themselves.